clicking it.
Skinner!
Ah, yes. It is that night. I know it gives some people some PTSD, some trauma perhaps, but it's also a pretty special one. Stars, Oilers, the Gulutzan Bowl. Pregame show, you're on DLLS, starts right now. This is the DLLS Stars Pregame Show as we welcome you inside the lounge studios alongside the two-time collegiate national champion and the two-time Stanley Cup champion. His name is Craig Ludwig. I'm Owen Newkirk. Ryan Vaughters is our producer. We'll talk with Sam Nestler here in just a moment. Stars and Oilers tonight at the AAC. But first, let's talk about the face-off collection. If you haven't heard Luds talk about this for the last couple weeks, shame on you. By the way, I messaged GM Ben today asking for an update on the count. He did not get back to me. No reply. So regardless of where we stand, check out these shirts. They look fantastic. I'm pretty partial to the green one, but both are nice. AllDLS.com. Get your newest Dallas hockey DLS shirts right now. All right, let's go over to the American Airlines Center where Sam Nestler has been camped out. Sam, let's start with the PNC Bank Main Street setup going there. We're going to be hanging out on Thursday night. You were scoping it out for us, and I think that Abby and Bobby were over there, part of the DLS team. What can you tell us and report back from PNC Plaza right now?
Yeah, well, I had no idea what to expect, but I definitely didn't expect what I saw when I walked in here, which is a full setup barbershop they have going on there. They got like stylists there. You sit in the chair. They set you up with the hair of your choice of those amazing hats that are right there on the table in front of you guys. No one's going to wear it as well as I did. We can just get that out of the way now. But the setup is
Sam
really
Yager.
cool. As we mentioned, no free hat, no purchase necessary. Go over there, check it out. Support the PNC Bank and DLS and Dallas Stars. It's all one big family here, but it's a cool setup. I believe there's a picture inside of the barbershop of Darian Hatcher and this guy, Craig Ludwig. I think he won the Stanley Cup with the Stars way back 40 years ago or so, but some good mullets there in the barbershop, so go check that out.
Did you?
Yeah, I just.
We talked about that like for this last week.
Yeah, but I didn't.
You didn't
put it
see
together.
the
I
picture.
thought I was thinking MAI.
Oh, like Main
or maybe
Street.
even the state of.
Well, that's where I'm from.
I
so,
know that.
Yeah, very proud. Just like you are a very proud Scotty. Yeah, but nonetheless, Sam, let's hit some lineup news right off the top. Lots to talk about. Jake Ottinger, Rope Hintz, Radek Foxta, Casey DeSmith. Where are we at with all those?
Yeah, so as we mentioned on our show yesterday, Jake Ottinger did become a dad over the weekend, something they had scheduled for the 2-day break Sunday and Monday. So congratulations to Jake and his wife Kennedy on that. No further news on that. Jake did skate today. I wasn't sure if I know he wasn't expected to play tonight. Casey DeSmith will start as expected, but Jake was here this morning, skated as the backup, stayed out late. So I wasn't able to talk to him. I don't know if anyone was able to get anything out of him, but he was actually out there skating late with Rope Hintz, who did make his first appearance on the ice in quite a while. Rope came out for the beginning, right before morning skate started, and then similar to what Matt Duchene did last time he came back and skated with the team, was he came out with a regular visor on, skated around for a few minutes, left, and then came back out with a tinted visor on. So as we cleared it up yesterday on the show, they did not have they are not in any sort of protocol. So whether that is a sly way of telling us they maybe were at some point and they're not now, I don't know. They're being very secretive on this with Duchene and Hintz. But Hintz will not play tonight. Duchene will not play tonight. And I think they're still, Hintz is probably closer, but they're still both probably a few days away here. And then Radek Foxta, you mentioned. Radek Foxta was at practice yesterday, did not skate this morning, and Rope Hintz filled in for him on the fourth line. So he's a game time decision. I would guess he's probably going to play. just because he practiced yesterday and the way they ran their lines didn't look like they were getting ready for 11-7. However, if he's not ready to go, Kyle Capobianco will come in and they will go 11-7 for, I believe, the third time this season.
And third time in the last 4 games, counting tonight if they do that, because they did it twice last week. We'll go both the Capitals game and Lightning for getting Oscar Beck back and getting back to 12 against the Florida Panthers. Sam, Justin Ritzkovian, we had a chance to talk to him yesterday. He was all smiles after scoring his first career NHL goal in Florida. Had some pretty interesting stories about taking the high stick from Seth Jones, coming back during the power play, scoring, and it felt like a long time coming for the kid.
Yeah, so we'll start with the play, right? He said he got the high stick. He barely noticed that he got high sticked when it happened. And then he looked down and saw that he was pouring out from below his nose. So he had to skate off, went back in the room, and I think they were trying to figure out whether they were going to glue it up quickly or give him stitches. And he said he started to hear music was still playing in the arena. So they hadn't restarted play. And he asked the trainers, he said, have they still not played? And they said, no, they're still cleaning up your blood. So he said, can we get me back out there? Can we glue me up so I can get back out there? Because they knew it's a double minor, and he's on power play too with all the injuries, so he knew he'd get his chance. He comes out after they score the first goal. I think it was Wyatt Johnston, and he comes out, takes the pass, deflects it in from in tight, celebrates his first NHL goal. Huge moment for him. Told me he got tons of texts from his family, including his brother, who's a college hockey player at Northeastern, came to Dallas Stars camp this summer. Huge celebration throughout. But the craziest part was he told us he's been doing a lot of meditation over the last 3-4 years. Started it in college, really building it up: visualization, meditation, breath work, all that kind of stuff. And he said during training camp was doing a lot of visualization, and for whatever reason, his first goal, he kept seeing Florida in his mind, and clearly he had something. So I actually told him today that the fans' response to that when I posted on Twitter was, can you tell us who's going to win the Stanley Cup? Or better yet, when the Stars are finally going to win a Stanley Cup? And he said, I don't think I'm there yet, but I will work on it.
And then, of course, bobblehead night. Nico Rantanen gets his first. It's not his first ever, but it's his first as a Dallas.
Yeah, it's cool. So I stayed down there for a little bit just to see as fans were coming in. As we know, bobblehead night has been a very heated topic over the years. We have some people who come, grab a bunch of them and then sell them from not even out of the arena yet. They're just sitting in their seats, posting them on eBay, which let's not do that. But it's also just been a mess. You wait in line forever after you get in the arena, and then they run out. So this year they're doing it differently. They're giving it just as you walk in. There's no separate line. There's no full, go around the corner and stand there for 45 minutes. When you come in, as long as they're still there, you grab one off the table. And I believe they've usually had about 5,000 minus whatever they give to sponsors and things like that. So maybe 4,000 they're giving away. I think they're almost up to 10,000 here. So a lot more fans going to get them. Hopefully not as many ending up on Facebook Marketplace and eBay, though. Hopefully these guys are enjoying it. But Luds talks about Mikko Rantanen all the time, right? What a sign that this guy is the future of this team, maybe a future captain, all those things, by having a bobblehead when you haven't even played, I think, 40 regular season games for the team yet. So cool night, lots going on. Get down here if you're not already down here.
And of course, we need a bobblehead for our studio.
We'll work on that. We got the moose right there, though.
The moose. We do have the moose hat, but we should have the moose bobblehead.
He should have horns on. He should have horns on his bobblehead.
I bet you the next time they do one, you got 8 years, you can do a moose. That's my guess. I think they went sort of traditional. Sam, you were on with Jason Greger up in Edmonton this afternoon, and I heard you briefly. I didn't get to hear all of it, but I heard you talking about the rivalry, saying a lot of people were talking about that. I know that this is close to you, especially this whole, will the Stars get any retribution from last year's playoff antics against Rope Hintz, who's not playing?
Yeah, retribution maybe isn't the right word, because I don't think they need to go out and just drop the gloves with Darnell Nurse right off the bat. That was a long time ago. A lot has happened since then. I just am curious to see the emotional carryover from both these teams, but especially from the Stars. This is a roster that 90% of them were on this team last year that got beat by Edmonton. Glen Gulutzan facing his former team for the first time. You got the injury to Rope Hintz, as you mentioned, was a big point that they didn't really respond to. And then Evan Bouchard does it again 1 or 2 games later. Again, similar thing. We've talked about this ad nauseum. I'm just interested to see if someone comes out and says, we're not getting pushed around by the Edmonton Oilers tonight. And I think the guy we mentioned a few minutes ago might be a perfect target for that, which is Justin Ritzkovian. I wouldn't be surprised to see him getting a scrap tonight.
Well, here's what I would say. Go ahead, go after Darnell Nurse, but don't go after Bouchard. Just leave him on the ice. We want him on the ice.
Just let him
Especially when it's
defend.
not their power
Yeah.
play. Yeah, it's been that way. We're more to talk about that. Sam, thank you for the report. We will see you post-game. And, of course, don't forget you can come meet Sam, Luds, and me on Thursday night as part of the PNC Bank Main Street Mullet Barbershop promotion. Get your free hat. Get a haircut if you want at PNC Plaza. We'll be out there Thursday night after our pregame show. We're doing an early pre-tape of the pregame show. I think we'll be there about 6 o'clock. So thank you, Sam. We'll see you after the game.
All right, boys, enjoy the game.
13-13, Sam. Remember that.
13-13. Luds, what do you think about this 11-7 versus 12-6 if Radek Faksa can't go? I mean, obviously they're hamstrung because they don't have options because of all the injuries, but it's not. We talked about it in the 2 games they did this last week. It's not ideal.
No, I think I like it. Well, at this particular moment, with this lineup, I like it for the forwards because that means Rantanen,
Yep.
Johnston, Robo are going to pick up extra shifts. As far as defensemen, I find it always difficult, and I feel bad for the guys because there are generally 2 guys. And I'm guessing Coco Cabana is going to be the guy that's going to end up getting out there, and play every other 3, 4, 5 shifts. And it's just hard. And that means probably flipping off with Petro too, right? Or
Mhm.
whoever it may be. It's difficult. You don't get into the rhythm of the game and the flow. It's okay for the forwards because you've got forwards that, they dig that extra ice time.
Yes.
And I just think it's more difficult. And again, I think it's hard for Elaine too, as far as being the D coach, to let the guys get into a rhythm and the flow of the game and things like that. You've got to get this guy in there or whoever it may be because you just can't let him sit there. And then when you couple penalties and you have to play him, and then he's cold.
And
It's not
it's
fair.
a disservice to both he and
Yeah.
the team.
But there's teams that love it. Edmonton does it a lot. I mean, they've done it quite a bit. There's teams that enjoy it, but I guess they got the forwards that they like to roll out there.
I mean, you're going to
and-
play McDavid a ton. You're going to play Draisaitl a ton.
Yeah, they played last night though too, and
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the time of the year that you want to push those guys out there even extra because again, when you're tired and fatigued, there's always that small chance of an injury and things like that. But I think they're going to play McDavid and Draisaitl anyways because they want to get a couple wins on.
So you remember Allie, our dear friend and diehard, who a lot of times calls herself Petty Allie?
Yes,
Well, she just jumped in the
she's
chat.
an Edmonton fan.
And she's an
Or no,
she's an Edmonton resident.
Okay.
She said, as a Stars fan going to an Edmonton sports bar wearing my Stars jersey and hat, yes, please get some retribution. I always like that. Allie is always good for a quip that we enjoy. Let's take a look at the lineup tonight for the Stars because if Radek Faksa does play, this is where they're at. And we'll hear from Glen Gulutzan on the other side of the break about what he's dealing with right now. But as we look at this, I really like that he's playing Robertson with Johnston and Rantanen. I think that's a very, very good line. You have been, sort of pounding on the desk saying Wyatt, Rantanen, and Robo should be playing together. What do you think about Sam Steele in the middle with Sagan on the left and Bork on the right?
I think those two could flip flop. Steele was great on faceoffs the other night, but I think Tyler can play. I think Tyler has played center, and I think he's obviously he's got a high hockey IQ. So I think those 2 guys could flip flop. I think Steele might be a little bit more competitive and digging around in the corners and get in on a forecheck, and Tyler could play in the middle of the ice, more of a distributor. But regardless of where they are, and then you got Tyler playing on his offside too. So to me, I could see them flipping, but again, I think probably with Steele, I don't think they're going to want to match them up against McDavid and Draisaitl. They might flip. We never know if they're going to play together or not. But that's why I like that top line the way it is because they're puck possession guys. And if they can go ahead and play against McDavid, they can keep the puck more hopefully in the offensive zone where he's 180 feet away from the net.
Well, take a look at the defense. Same group. That's the one thing, Luds, that aside from the injury to Nils Lundqvist, which is really unfortunate, they've been able to roll the same 6 for a while. And does that give you some rhythm, which the forward group has not had?
Yeah, and the other thing is, in the playoffs, Petro and Bichel were good.
Yes.
And they're heavy. And so I think this is going to be a game for the guys that obviously were in the lineup last year in playoff time, played against the Edmonton Oilers and Colorado, blah, blah, blah. This is more, to me, this kind of, it always rings in, it's like a playoff. and you get into that mentality. You remember how physical the games were and all the other things that went on. So I think for Dallas, it would be a good idea, stay out of the box, but get into that part of that kind of a game. Because again, a team that played last night, especially their top players, you want to hit those guys. You want to make it a difficult game. They've already got an excuse. Give them another excuse why man, we played last night and it's a little tougher, and pull on their jerseys and pin them in the corners and just make it one of them kind of trudgy kind of games.
Well, bad news for Radek Fox. He will not play tonight. Sam just tweeted out that he is not on the ice for the warm-up. Of course, Kyle Capobianco is. It looks like 11-7 tonight against Edmonton.
Well, there you go. Well, like I said, I think you're going to see a lot of Rantanen and Johnston, and those two especially. And you might see Robo bouncing around. You could throw Tyler up there. We've seen what Glen Gulutzan. To me, this is interesting to me because Gully being a coach for that organization on the bench for a while.
I agree.
He has an idea, and when you play with those kind of guys, he knows if Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid have any weaknesses, which I think we haven't found them yet.
Not many,
but if there are things, he knows what they are, and he will. We may see some things that he does against those two guys in particular, and a defenseman in particular. I mean, every time that Bouchard is taking a faceoff or being part of a faceoff in his own zone, I would have Rantanen and those guys out there on the ice. I mean, there's no question in my mind. I would play that card. But I think you're going to see some of those kind of things going on with Gully. And the other guy knows Gully, too. So it'll be one of those.
I have some great quotes from Gully. We'll hear from him on the other side of the break. We'll continue to get you ready for Stars and Oilers here. The pregame show rolls on DLLS.
This is the DLLS merchandise collection, right? We got the 2 new shirts. We still got they're not new anymore, right? I mean, they're not new anymore. So we got the green one.
They might be new to the new viewers that have
the
never watched.
Well, we got loyal.
We do have
I
loyal
think they're
viewers.
pulling them in. So anyway, we got the green one, the Dallas hockey shirt, and then also that black one with the A or the, I don't know what it is. I haven't figured it out yet. But this is our face-off collection. And if you, I don't know if they're still available, obviously. I don't know where we are in our numbers as far as the show goes and the, what are we calling it? The takeover? The takeover?
It's the
event?
Stars takeover, yeah.
And the Hooters night. And if you have
DLLS
one of
Stars
these shirts,
takeover.
we're just going to break it down. If you come in with one of them shirts down into the Hooters day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon or 1 o'clock, whatever
I think
time
it's about
starts.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock?
Yeah, because we got to do the
Well, I'll be there at 1.
No, you won't, because we have a pregame show at 2. They're going to be
I
in
thought we were
here.
doing the pregame show from there.
No, we're going to do it here.
for the pregame
Then we're
show.
all going to go down and eat.
Oh, is it the Hooters girls that are coming up here for the pregame show?
I mean, if you have
Isn't that what? Somewhere the Hooters girls are going to be around.
I mean, when you're at Hooters, for sure.
Well, yeah. Well, they got to be
There
there.
you go.
Okay. Well, anyway, so yeah, you come in, wear that shirt, and you'll probably get some.
There you go. Let's talk about PNC Bank because we still haven't heard from GM Ben about our shirt count. May not. Long-term growth takes patience and commitment, as of course something banking and hockey care have in common. PNC Bank recognizes the value of long-term growth too. It's time to see how good long-term growth looks on you. You can do it tonight or on Thursday. Pick up your free Dallas Stars hockey hair hat, like this one here, the blonde, the redhead.
Oh, ginger head.
That's right.
Oh,
We've got
yeah.
the Yager looking curly hair here. There are 4 different varieties. Check them out. You can go to at PNC Plaza right now before the game, compliments of PNC Bank, or November 6th, which is on Thursday night, Stars against the Ducks. We'll be out there as part of PNC's pop-up Main Street branch.
I know. Now that I see
Now he
it,
gets it.
I get it.
No purchase necessary, 1 per person, while supplies last. Copyright 2025, the PNC Financial Services Group Incorporated, PNC Bank, an official partner of the Dallas Stars. And Luds, it's time for the PNC Bank Mullet Report as we get you all geared up for this Main Street event.
Is this a secret? Because you said we got a really good one. You didn't tell me who it was.
I didn't. No, but you could probably guess because one of the great mullets of the 80s,
Oh, well,
the great one,
who's that dude?
Wayne Gretzky.
I don't call that a mullet.
But he's got the long in the back, and shorter on the front.
Well, it's not. It's in his eyes, and it's
Well, I
over
mean,
his ears.
it's moppy.
That's a mop. Not a mullet. That's a mop.
It's a mop, except for it goes all the way down to his collar.
Yeah, that Gretz did have one at one time, but that, come on,
That's not his best mullet.
you guys can
Well, we have a fun one for Thursday as well, but
we do. Oh, the one that I just got.
uh-huh.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
That'll be a good one.
that'll be a fun
That's
one,
a
too.
mullet. That one's coming up.
We'll get that one up. But pick up
And
your
you can guess who it's going to be. And Gretz actually played on that. Not together, but he did play on.
That's a fun
that
little
particular
Easter
team.
egg. I see. I know the answer, but I get his reference.
Well, how many teams did Gretz play on? I think it was only 3, right? No,
Not
4. 4.
Yep, the
Yeah.
St. Louis
And it's
LA.
not the Blues. There you go.
There you go. There's only one other team. Pick up your free Dallas Stars hockey hair hat pregame at PNC Plaza. Compliments at PNC Bank both tonight and November 6th at PNC's pop-up Main Street branch. As we said before, come hang out with us. We'll be there on the 6th on the Plaza. No purchase necessary, one per person. While supplies last. Copyright 2025. The PNC Financial Services Group Incorporated, PNC Bank, official partner of Dallas Stars. All right, time to hear from Gully because I think he's a people person. He said that as much at practice yesterday. He's looking forward to seeing all the people that he worked for 7 years with as an assistant with the Edmonton Oilers. But aside from just that, a couple of things I asked him, and he gave very extensive answers. The first one is, this is the second time this year you've played a team that had a game the night before and you didn't. So theoretically, you're the more rested team. So as a coach, is there anything that you want to do differently when you're facing a team that had to play, fly, and then face you that you wouldn't normally do?
Did he say get the lead?
Well, I mean, that's probably indicative, but here's the answer that Gully gave.
Yeah, I think you want to try to put them under siege right away and see if they're ready. And it's not so much. I don't find anymore that the back-to-backs are that difficult for these athletes anymore. But they're coming into a 3 and 4, and I think 3 and 4s are tougher now than back-to-back. So if you had a back-to-back, midweek, Wednesday, Thursday with no games, but when teams, they played 2 nights ago, now they play tonight and tomorrow, those 3 and 4s get tougher. So you do want to be jump on people a little bit and see if they still have their playing legs.
You know who he sounds like? Your old coach. Because Ken Hitchcock,
I've had a few.
when Hitch was here the second time, he would repeatedly say, it's not the back-to-back, it's the 3 and 4. He was adamant, and that sounds just like what Gully said.
Hitch was probably in Edmonton at the same time.
I'm sure
Gully
there's a
was around.
crossover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that, and probably here. Well, maybe not. It was a long time ago. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're tired. I mean, and again, you're talking to your legs. Let's go. Right now, they're worried. If you're playing 3 and 4, even back to back, guys are worried. How am I going to feel when I get out there? And they're not new to this. They've done this.
Yeah.
So, and they're going to say, we got to get through the first this. Generally, the first 5-6 minutes of a game, they're fine. But again, like Gully wants to do is you want to push. And one area that they're improving in is the physical part. Physical on every single guy, especially 2 or 3 of those key guys. But yeah, if you can be a little bit more heavy on them, and then your structure would make it. You got to give them a reason, especially the 2 top guys. Give them a reason to say, you know what, we got.
I should have lined this up differently. Let's go to number 3, Ryan, because Luds, my next question to him, which I clipped, but I did it out of order. So we're going to go to that next. I asked Gully.
So does Ryan have a clue what we're talking about?
He
right
does.
Now? Okay.
Oh, yeah. We got a great code going here. You talked about slow starts. You talked about scoring first. So I asked him, what can a coach do when a team is stuck in dealing with slow starts? Here's Gully's answer.
The only thing that we're really coaching now is, we're actually good in the O zone when we're there. We're getting actually really good in our D zone because we're there too much. So at the end of the day, we've got to start. We got to work it from the back end out. Really, there's not much you can say as a coach other than we got to shoot the puck and get to the net. That's age old, and everybody says that. But you want to be in those positions more. To create more volume or opportunity to be in those spots. So offensively, I don't mind our creation. What I'm trying to push here is we need more opportunities for that, and that you got to rewind the tape and go, okay, we need to break out better. We need to spend less time in our own zone because we need to be cleaner with the puck. And so you got to find the root cause of it. It's not just hey. You can score. You got to score more. We'd like to create more opportunity, and that starts by backing up the tape and saying, okay, we got to be better. Getting out of our zone, and we're more connected, so we can come up the ice together, and we're not attacking the opposition tired because we've spent 20 seconds in our zone or 25. We'd like to be out of there cleaner and attack the opposition fresh. So you're always rewinding the tape to find the root cause. And for us as coaches, that is cause. We've got to be cleaner in our breakouts. We've got to be more connected coming up the ice, and we've got to be in the O-zone more, and that's going to help us.
Long answer, Luds, but I knew that you would jump all over this conversation.
No, the only thing I'm going to say is, did you hear him say the root cause?
Yeah.
The root cause?
Yeah.
Well, here's the root cause. Hintz, Duchesne, Faksa, Lundqvist, spend. That's your root cause.
Yep.
You're spending more time in your own zone because you're getting pressure and you don't have the same skilled guys to be able to make short little passes and the quickness and make plays in your zone, get out of your zone. And then when you're in the offensive zone, you don't have a group of puck protection guys that can spend more time in the offensive zone, so you're not back in your zone. So that, I mean, let's just be honest. They're short on some bullets.
Well, Sam asked a question about what Gully liked about his forward pairs at this point, and to Ludz's
Forward
comment,
pairs?
he was talking about pairs.
Okay.
But listen to what Gully responded.
Wait.
Number 2.
Well, you know what? It's been a lot. You know, hard for me to answer that question because I haven't really got consistent pairs. But I do know that, you know, certainly Sam Steele can help drive a line with his speed. He helps you on a lot of lines that we've had him with, and so. You know, I've liked Roop and Rance together. I've liked Johnny and Robo together. I've liked Johnny and Rance together a little bit. So I think we won't have a clear picture of that until we get all of our guys back. So I actually wrote some lines on the board today going through some of the statistics and analytics and our own in-house chances for and chances against created. And yeah, we're just waiting for, if we can get some guys back, we can try to pair people up. Right now we just haven't been able to, right? So you know, you're not scoring, you're a little light on players, and so you're trying to keep the games as close as you can and manufacture points. And the players are doing it too. They know they're trying to grind out points, and I think we've done a good job of that.
That's a flustered coach that doesn't really want to say we're missing our key guys here. We're missing too many key players. Yep. I don't really have a good answer for you folks, and I applaud him the way he does it because he doesn't want to say what I just said. You know, I mean, you don't want to say, well, we got Adam Ernie playing and we got Rich Colvian and you know what I mean? And we got guys playing, not that they're not good players, but they may be playing up a little bit higher than we would prefer to have them playing. And that's just reality.
One thing he did say, though, Lud, feels that the team is starting to learn the systems.
They're actually better now. We're actually better in those areas now. And it may not even look like it analytically, but it's better than that now. But the reality is when we get some of our pieces back, you're going to see even more fluidity in those areas, right? And more plays being made and stuff like that. So, it gets a little tougher now, right? Guys are playing 4 or 5 minutes more than their optimal. Not their max, but their optimal. And you've got guys playing higher in the batting orders, than they normally are. And so you're gonna see some of that. But if you look at it, what we're trying to do on hey, we're in our spots, we've got our spacing. Now we're not executing it at the highest level yet, but we've got our systems down, if that makes any sense. The systems are down. Now it's just, you get a little bit more fluidity, you're gonna execute better.
Unforced on-the-job training. That's what this has been. And you're going to be able to, if everything goes according to plan and everybody gets healthy and they stay healthy from...
And they're still missing a piece or two then.
30 to 40. Yes, they are. But he will revisit this time of the season.
Sure.
And he'll say, this is why we're not spending as much time in our zone. This is why Jake or Casey aren't seeing 7-10 bells or having to make 7-10 bell saves every period and a half. It's because we went through this. It was like a crash course of learning how you wanted to tweak it from the former coach.
Well, let's take a look at the goalies tonight. First, we have the matchup. Casey DeSmith, of course, playing against Stuart Skinner. Skinner has played a lot more than DeSmith as the starter. Calvin Pickard was really good last night in the loss against the St. Louis Blues. But look at Skinner's regular season versus playoff numbers against the Dallas Stars, and they're a tale of two very different goalies.
Yeah, I mean, again, you can look at. Listen, this guy. Everybody seems to want to jump on Skinner. I think the players. It sounds like players. Everybody loves this guy, but he was never really penciled in to be a $8 million a year goaltender. What they love about him is the way that he bounces back and he takes the heat. He's the first guy to come into a presser and say, just let's get that one out of the way. What you want to know what happened on that one? He just meets it head on.
Yep.
So I think that's why the guys, not that they play harder for him than the other ones, but I think they have time for him when he has a poor game.
Let's take a look at the Edmonton lineup. First, the forwards, of course, McDavid and Draisaitl, the two biggest weapons. They added Mangiapane and Roslovic in the offseason. Roslovic much closer to the start of the season. Tomasek will come in tonight, replacing Curtis Lazar, who played last night in St. Louis. And then on the defensive side, Alec Regula, who has been on IR since earlier in October. I think it was the 11th, the last time he played. He is going to check in, and Ty Emberson will come out as we look at the defense there, with still pretty much the same group, except for Regula in there. The other 5 defensemen were on that playoff Western Conference Final.
Yeah, go back to their forwards for a second, Ryan. Like, I look at what Gully may want to do tonight, and like I talked about, that top line that Dallas has got together. To me, that line goes out against McDavid, whether Mangiapane stays there or not, or they move Draisaitl up there. But if he goes against that line, and you have Essa and you have Miro out there against them, I believe that Thomas Harley, because Draisaitl does the majority of his work coming down the right side of the ice a lot of times, Thomas Harley can handle him, and he can frustrate him, I think. And then the rest kind of evens out. It kind of balances everything out. I mean, again, that a lot of times that depends on how they play. Ideally, I mean, for being at home and everything, you would like them to put Draisaitl up there on that top line. So they got all their eggs in the basket. You can roll it, and you can play best on best, so to speak, and then hopefully that neutralizes. Then you still have guys down here, Sagan and whoever he's all playing with, that can put a goal in. Just get a couple 5-on-5 goals.
It would be a huge deal. The number 1 power play in the league, Edmonton. The number 3 power play in the league, Dallas. If you get into penalty trouble, they will make you pay. We'll be back for the postgame show. For Sam, for Lud, for Ryan, I'm Owen. Thanks for joining us. And go get that mullet hat at PNC Bank's Plaza Main Street branch.
I believe that they are going to crush these guys tonight. Ooh. Oh, come on. That ain't right.
We all silly like the mayor.